National Hot Rod Telly at Hendersford May Day weekend, and you can see here the car of Shane Bland, the European champion 2018. And if we just have a little look over here in the shade, look at Mr. Cool, the driver himself. Shane, European champion, congratulations. Has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, it has actually. It sunk in quite quick because it was sort of just the relief, I suppose, was the biggest thing of being so desperate to win one of the major championships, and to do it and actually feel comfortable in the car, and the car was great. It just gave me a lot of confidence, so I feel much more relaxed now and not so desperate.
Good stuff. And I have to say, it's not. I've seen you race around Loch Gelly quite a few times. It's not a track I thought, you know, this really suits Shane. This is his track. So to go up there and do that, it shows you that you was on a mission. Am I right in thinking it's not necessarily your sort of style of track, or?
Well, not really. Actually, I've always gone quite well around there, but I've just never had the results because it's a really hard weekend, a bit like the National, where to get two good heats is you need a bit of luck, you need the car, you need everything, and actually you have to constantly change the car every race because it starts off warm in the afternoon, cools down at night, the track totally changes, and I just called all the changes right. So every race I made a change to the car, and it was the right one every time. And to get all that in one weekend is, you know, it doesn't happen very often. So
and I guess really that's the difference between winning. It's not just racing fast; it's a whole event.
Yeah.
It's the whole, and really the top drivers are multi-champions. You know, your Orman Christies, your Carl Baldies. To do that all the time, that must have been.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. You know, it's never just because you've done it once it's easy. It's just to get everything together and win any championship. Particularly, to be fair, the National, the British, the European,
The big four.
in some ways more than the World, because that's a very different race. Because you qualify in pole and you can win from pole, but that's got its own challenges. Some people are great at doing the National but not so good at the World, and
Yeah.
you know, different tracks. There's just so many elements. It's you know, it's very, very difficult
And I
basically.
think really probably all champions, great champions, they have to kind of just, well, they win and then they move on to the next one. So
Yeah.
we're at the next one now. We're at Hendersford. It's a world qualifier. How much just on the setup of the car? How much difference? How much work do you have to do to go from a track like Loch Gelly to a big, wide track like Hendersford?
Mainly a few little tweaks on the suspension, and I've changed the diff, which is different gearing because it's a faster circuit. So it requires a few little changes, but the main work that goes into these cars is the maintenance. You know, they're very fragile, they get a lot of battering, and everything needs maintaining all the time, and you've got to stay on top of it. Thankfully, the other benefit of winning at Loch Gelly is I had no damage, hardly a scratch on the car, which is also very time consuming. So
Yeah.
it's a very different feeling because this track, you know, you get to the middle of the corner, you put your foot to the floor and away you go. Loch Gelly, you couldn't put your foot to the floor until you're in a straight line because it's a tighter track. So it takes a bit of getting used to.
So we've taken all that time. Can I still understand you had time to race something else this weekend? What was that?
Yeah, I raced a 635 BMW 1986 car around Donington in the historic touring car championship, which was brilliant. Totally different to this, different type of driving altogether, not as intense or as hard as hot rods, just a bit of fun.
Sure. And for those that sort of maybe race the circuit car and maybe tempted to have a go at Nationals, should they do it?
Absolutely. You know, it's a unique challenge. On a circuit, if you're the fastest, on the whole you'll win the race. On ovals, if you're the fastest, that's only one element. You know, you need the racecraft, you need to be able to get through the traffic, you need the right grid position. There is so many elements, and it's very, very frustrating. So until you adapt to it and realise that it doesn't matter if you're the quickest guy out there, it doesn't guarantee you a win at all. You know, whereas circuits, if you're the fastest person, you'll probably go on pole and you're most likely to win the race without any breakdowns. With hot rods, totally different.
Well, we wish you all the luck today. I know the World Championship, you've got quite a bit to do to still qualify, but I suppose it's the old one race at a time and see how many points there at the end.
Yeah, if we can have a solid day today, that'll do. You know, I need to maintain my averages and keep in the red tops, which means I'll qualify. If I have a bad meeting and then I'm going to be really struggling. But we'll give it everything we've got.
Well, best of luck. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.